a lot of things.
We solve those problems.
We absolutely, as pro-lifers and as Americans, we care about the children in foster care.
Americans.
We care about children who are being neglected, who are living.
Do you though?
By sheer coincidence.
How do you propose we solve those problems for the children that are suffering?
So do you want to go through today all the world's problems and all the United States problems and try to...
Her entire thing was sidestepping what gives you the right to make that decision for me. And instead she decided, well, we have all of these other problems that we would like to fix. And when she says, cool, give me, why don't we have some solutions for those? She goes, what, honey? You want me to fix all of the world's problems? Oh my God. Wow. That was amazing. At VCU in Richmond, Virginia, it seems that there was a fight that broke out, an altercation, a schmoz, if you will, at a pro-life speech, pro-life rally. I this put on by some organization in conjunction with a pro-life student group at the College of VCU. That's Virginia Commonwealth University down in Richmond, Virginia. Yeah, so I kind of want to take a look at this. We're going to be spending a little bit of time at colleges here. So yeah, let's go take a look at kind of what all happened, and then we'll luckily this is only like a minute long, so
Fuck pro-life! Fuck pro-life!
You won't even let me answer her questions. Would you like me to answer the question?
Fascists go home! Fascists go home!
Would you like to Google the word fascist? Here they come. Isabel, watch yourself. Excuse me, I thought VCU rules were that you can't disrupt a peaceful gathering, and no one's doing anything. They're assaulting her! Medical term!
all right, well, okay, so off the bat, let me do the politics side of this first, and then we'll get into the specific case. You're on a college campus. There is a right-wing speaker coming to spread their fascist ideology and propaganda to whatever little insular small group exists on your campus. What do? Do you go and protest? Do you try to drown out this person's speech with your protest? Do you go and assault people at this event? All of these things would be I'm not 100% sure these are the best the best courses of action. If you're on a campus, to any leftists on a college campus here, if you are on a campus, they're having Ben Shapiro, Michael Knowles, whoever, this is what they want, and this is the response that they want from you. Understand but that from a political messaging standpoint, this is the exact reaction that they want to bait out of you. They want to bait you into looking unreasonable, into looking uncivil, into seeming violent. All of these things are, unfortunately, kind of part of the reason why they show up to these events, why they show up to some of these campuses, that they might get they know they might get negative pushback, and that's kind of okay. So if you're on a campus, if you're a leftist, and they're having Ben Shapiro, whoever, I implore you, just ignore them. Just don't give them the time of day. Don't draw attention to them, because that's, at the end of the day, what they're there to do. They want to get eyes. They want to draw attention. They want to, become. They want to turn into a news story. It's why why the video that we're seeing is framed the way it is. We're gonna go through it from top to bottom again. But I want to get that out of the way from a leftist, from a political messaging standpoint. I get it. I fully get it. You're upset. You don't like the speaker. Totally fine. But there is a certain amount of attention that you give them with your protest that plays in and validates them. And you got to watch that. Focus should be on dismantling. Yeah. Which Sol Invictus is right. That is correct. If they have a, if they do one of their little like, people can ask random questions. I'm not even sure if you want to participate in that. They will, at the end of the day, hold the microphone essentially and be able to move you along when they've made their point and they don't want you responding, because you got to be careful with that stuff. But absolutely, I think protesting, showing up, even silently protesting, holding up signs that, of disagreement, whatever, I think that would kind of be a little bit better. This is not it, but I do want to, and I kind of want to go through why, and we're going to go through this fairly quickly. Again, it's only a minute long. So to start out, obviously, this woman is, she kind of looks, she is what we would, I think, colloquially call a Karen, showing up and framing herself as this nice, smiling, affable, perfectly happy, well-adjusted, pro-life advocate. You see, she's so happy and jubilant. I don't know what the fucking word is. Jubilant? I don't know what the word is. But like, she looks all, in a good mood. She's happy to get this attention. She's happy for this response because everybody in the background looks kind of unreasonable.
Would you like me to answer the question?
She appeals to the watcher, if somebody's watching and, she says like, hey, can I respond to the question that the person said? This audience goes, no, we don't want to hear you talk. We want you to leave. And any normal person looks at that and goes, well, they should let her speak. Now, do I think any of her speech is valuable? Do I think she's right on anything? Fuck no. But to the normal person, to somebody just flipping through random videos, they'll see this and go, why are these college kids so unreasonable? Why are these leftists on college campuses so unreasonable? They won't let people talk.
Would you like to Google the word fascist? Here they come. Isabel, watch yourself.
Keep in mind, they're trying to set the stage of like, whoa, watch yourself. These people are dangerous. They might be dangerous. Who knows? If they do something, if something breaks out, then they've already set the table of like, whoa, these leftists could be dangerous. If nothing happens, they've still communicated to their audience, these people have the potential for violence.
Excuse me, I thought VCU rules were that you can't disrupt a peaceful gathering. And
now, from what I understand, this is from the same lady who was, speaking or whatever, to which any normal person would say, yeah, like, they shouldn't be able to interrupt her. But no, that's a lot of double speak. That's a lot of double logic right there. Because quite frankly, she has no right to any platform than anybody else. If she wants to come and speak at a college, everybody at that college has a right to come and disagree with her. To say that like policy is that, oh, well, we need to let people, I need to be able to like speak and spread my propaganda and do all this stuff. No, you don't. You don't. That's the thing you don't have. You don't have a right to that. You have a right to speak. You don't have a right to be spoken back at. That's not how free speech works. It's not I need to exercise my free speech, which means you need to not exercise yours. That's not really how that works.
no one's doing anything. You're assaulting her.
Yes. So, and this is the case. There's some kind of altercation broke out between people. I've heard a couple varying stories. Apparently, there were two people who, came into the school and, began this altercation. We still don't have a lot of information on it. It's still a bit, muddy at the moment on deep details. But as far as I could find, it seems like the people interacting in this violent manner were not students. They were trespassers. They were not supposed to be on campus, which means that they are, I don't know, they maybe align with this group, maybe they don't, maybe they're a psyop, maybe they're not, but we don't know that. We just know that two people came onto campus and decided to cause a stir at this. Obviously, there's going to be people who go, well, obviously these were leftists, they just weren't students, but We don't know that, do we? You can make that assertion, and is that likely? Yeah, probably. Probably is likely. But that's not the facts on the ground at the moment. Keep in mind also, I also want to point out, word is, from what, I scrolled through a little bit of VCU Reddit to try to find some on the ground information, and I saw a couple people, commenting that that a trans woman was struck, and that's when this whole debacle happened. And I do find it interesting that this video only starts, because you have to figure, she had been filming this entire time. She was clearly filming this entire experience, this entire response, this entire meeting. She was obviously filming either of it. So why did it cut to the part where you can't really tell what's happening anymore? Who started what? How it started? Was there instigation? You can't tell any of that, because the goal is not to communicate that, an altercation broke out between two people. It was a, watch out, they might be violent. Boom, cut to, now there's a small brawl. We're not going to show you how it started. We're not going to show you how it ended. We're not going to show you who's in it. Because by absence of that information, we've already set the stage. We've already programmed you to go, oh, that must have been one of the students, one of the angry blue-haired liberal protesting students. When I go look up this story on the news, it was two people from off campus that aren't students. So let's finish.
Get their way.
So yeah. Nope, stop it. Not yet. So yeah, keep in mind that is, this plays perfectly into the whole, college campuses are, they're indoctrinating our kids with leftism, and they're making them violent, and Antifa, and all the rest of the stuff. And this is how they communicate a lot of that. They show up to these campuses. They want people who hold left-leaning values to show up, protest, be angry, because you're teenagers most likely, or you're in your early 20s, and then they stand there, smile, and pretend to be reasonable. This is why I say, if you're on a campus, if you're in your early 20s, maybe in your late teens, maybe sit this one out. Maybe just ignore them. Because what you're giving them is attention, and attention is what they want. So they can produce videos like this that are all framing, no facts. Keep in mind also, this person, I want to take a look really quickly at the actual person who was in this video, all the rest of the stuff. Her name is apparently Kristen Hawkins. She is a she is a pro-life activist. I suppose she really deeply cares. She has a YouTube channel. She has this organization, Students for Life, which is a non-profit organization, most likely funded by probably not small donors, something tells me. But regardless, shows up to college campuses, not unlike Turning Points USA. Shows up to college campuses hoping to indoctrinate, hoping to convince some students to buy into their opinions. Unfortunately, what they don't realize is getting a further education past high school generally makes you more informed, and therefore more left-wing, not right-wing, unfortunately for them. But either way, I want to take a look at her channel intro, because her channel intro says a lot about where her priority is. Her channel preview, the thing that she puts out to say, this is my content, this is the thing that I am, that I want to blast out as the beacon for what I put out. And it's greatest pro-choice takedowns with Kristen Hawkins. So I want to take a quick look at this, and then we're going to get to one of her videos.
Body, you have the right to decide what to do.
I can use this, twist off a limb, pull it out, and that's okay. That act of violence is okay.
Oh man, these are already like so. This is already very, what's it called? So this thing. So how do we even do this? Okay, so what she's clearly trying to do is stir up sympathy and appeal to people's like, oh, that looks like a baby. You don't want to hurt a baby, right? But if you're pro-life, you believe that you don't even think that that's a baby. You think two cells rubbing together is a human life. So it's disingenuous to say, oh, you think it's okay if I like kill this little like doll that looks like a baby? Well, no, because I'm not pro baby killing. I'm pro abortion. I'm pro before there's a baby. That's the whole thing. Like you're already framing it in the most disingenuous and dishonest fashion. As far as I'm aware, this looks like a pretty what's okay, let me take a look. Let's see, 6 let's see, development. Let's see, can I get like a good... All right, let's take a look. Yeah, okay, I want everyone to keep in mind that this like you can see the little oh, here, this is what I'll do, so I can pull this. We'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do this. No, I didn't want to do that. Okay, you can still see the picture, it doesn't matter. So keep in mind, you see how you see this little like baby here, this small infant here? Does this look like any of the top row? Does this look like 5 weeks? Keep in mind, abortion under Roe v. Wade was, let's see, I believe it was 26 weeks. Roe v. Wade. No. I hope I can find it. Here we go. Mootness, abortion, rights advocacy, rights and privacy. No, Texas lawyers don't care. Let me see. What's Control F? Let me see if I can find weeks. Here we go. Let's see. There's about 10 options. After 15 weeks, what does 15 weeks look like? Geez, it doesn't even look like this second one. Christ. Let's see. Richard Epstein, thought to be tort law. He compared as to what was fact written in the book, which was when actually faced with the issue decision, almost all the jurisdictions have allowed recovery even though the injury don't care. Okay, not what I wanted. Here we go. Planned Parenthood. Let's see. For pregnancies at 12 weeks and later, the statute also bans saline abortions. Makes sense. Let's see. Floyd Anders, after he attempted to abort an African-American boy at 25 weeks. So what? After this point? Makes sense. Why is this out of order? Why does it go 5, 10, 40? Okay, that's fucking stupid. Let's see. Plurality also found that the fetus was now viable at 23 or 24 weeks rather than the 28. So keep in mind, the in terms of Roe v. Wade, yeah, v. Casey, yeah. Like in terms of Roe v. Wade, we already decided, yeah, 23 to 24 weeks is the cutoff. To which, yeah, let's see. 6 weeks pregnancy, Dobbs, which had banned abortion after 15 weeks. Yeah, makes sense. Let's see. Filed suit immediately after passage of federal court in the state stated that the law violated the previously established 24-week point. Makes sense. 6 weeks after 6 weeks. Yeah. Within 6 weeks, keep in mind. Again, let's remember. 6 weeks, it is whatever the fuck this thing is all the way to the right. Or all the way to the left, I'm sorry. Like, that's the thing that we're, you know, she's pretending. See, this is what I mean by dishonesty. She's pretending that abortion advocates, or more accurately, that pro-choice advocates, you know, people who aren't pro-life, believe that you can abort babies at the stage that she's holding right now. But the stage of infancy that she's holding right now is something like like the last, I would say probably what, month or so of development. Most abortions are done within the first trimester, which is the first what is that, 3 6 12 3 wait 4 yeah 18, the first 18 weeks. So wait, no, first 12 weeks, the first 12 weeks, sorry, I'm bad at math, but either way,
I can use this, twist off a limb, pull it out, and that's okay. That act of violence is okay.
Too bad
because it's my property.
Actually, is that
No, why do you do that?
Twist off a limb,
God damn it.
pull it out, and that's okay. That act of violence is okay.
It's too bad that that's not how abortion works. That doctors don't like pull fetuses out, you know, limb by limb,
Because it
with a little vacuum.
Actually, essentially, that is what I'm saying. While the baby's inside of your body, you have the right to decide what to do with it because it resides in your body.
Do you think that was okay?
Do you think she had a second? Do you think there was a second part to that sentence? Because I would agree with that, and then the second part of that would be until the baby is viable or until a certain point of gestation. In which case, you should have to bring that to term. Like if it's gone far enough, then yeah, that's basically a life.
It's okay to set banners on fire?
I think people can do whatever the fuck they want to do.
Support it. Why can't women be...
What is this? What is this?
When sperm and egg unite, they create a unique, living, whole human being.
A whole human being? Guys, the top row, a whole human being. Keep in mind, that's what she thinks. She thinks this top row is a whole human being, which, let me be clear, she has all the right to do so. But that's the problem with the pro-life position, is that it's an anti-choice decision, because not everyone holds the opinion that this entire top row is a whole human being. That'd be fucking ridiculous.
Exactly. I'm the anti-abortion. Sperm is a part of a man's body. An egg is part of a woman's body. When sperm and egg unite, they
True.
create a unique, living, whole human being that's never
They can.
existed before and never exist again. A sperm is a part that can...
Keep in mind, there are like kids who don't live through birth. That's like, it's not like you know, that life ever actually started. Like, they're stillborn children. There are people who have miscarriages that they just don't work out, but that doesn't mean somebody died. You wouldn't mourn that. Like, nobody died in that scenario.
can be used to create a whole living...
It's absolutely devastating for people, but
But it's not full DNA. It's not a human person. Science tells us that sperm and eggs aren't persons. By the zygote, an embryo,
aren't they
fetus is a human being.
they're sentient beings, are they not? Well, at least sperm. Like, sperm are at least mildly sentient.
And my question is that unborn fetus that
Maybe
cannot
not
live outside
sentient,
the mother,
I don't know
right
what the
do you
word would
have
be.
to tell me to carry it to term.
True.
If it's an unplanned pregnancy.
True.
And odds are that if it goes into the foster care system, it will face severe neglect and abuse.
So you
True.
believe that we should have the right to eliminate the sufferer, not the suffering. Is that what you're saying?
That's not...
What? Wait, I'm sorry, what?
cannot live outside the mother. What right do you have to tell me to carry it to term if it's an unplanned pregnancy? And odds are that if it goes into the foster care system, it will face severe neglect and abuse.
So you believe that we should have the right to eliminate the sufferer, not the suffering.
How did she... Okay, we're just moving on.
What you're saying?
That's not what I'm saying at all, and that's not what my question
You just said that if you knew for 100% certainty
that's not what she said already.
that the child you're birthing is going to have a lifetime of suffering,
Wha-
that it's better for the child.
It's
you
too
would
bad
kill
she
and
didn't
the
say
life of the
that.
child than for the child to suffer. So instead of attempting to solve the suffering of the child,
That
you
is
just
certainly a
eliminate
much
the potential
easier argument to
suffering.
argue against, yeah.
My question was, how do we end that suffering to make bringing a child that is unwanted into this world justifiable?
Well, I
So
think
how
there's
do
a
you
lot of
propose
things.
we solve those problems?
We absolutely, as pro-lifers and as Americans, we care about the children in foster.
Americans.
We care about children who are being neglected, who are living.
Do you though? Do you know how many kids are in foster care? How many kids are in like the CPS system and nobody gives a shit? You know, this is the same party. Keep in mind, this is the same party that was against the child tax credit. This is the same party that saw childhood poverty reduce by, I believe it was 30% when we introduced the child tax credit during the pandemic, and they actively pushed for it to expire. 30% of children in the United States were plunged back into poverty because of that. And they had no problem with that. But now suddenly, only in the case of are they born, are they not born, are they interested in life? This is the lie of pro-life. They're not interested in life. They're interested in dogma, I guess? I don't even know if it's dogma, if it's I don't know what the motivating factor is. It's certainly someone could make the argument that it's control. And certainly men who make this argument might say, you know, there's a pretty viable explanation that women who don't have the ability to stop pregnancy, don't have the ability to continue to be independent people, especially in an economy where you need two incomes to survive. But from a woman's perspective, is it just dogma? Like what's the motivating creed, I guess? I'm assuming it's just dogma. It has to be.
Being on the streets with their parents. These are things that we as Americans strive to fix, right? That we give to charitable organizations. Americans, we care about the children in foster care. We care about children who are being neglected, who are living on the streets with their parents.
Wait. Do Republicans give a shit about homelessness? Have Republicans been actively pushing for policies that will help stem homelessness? Have they?
These are things that we as Americans strive to fix, right? That we give to charitable organizations, that we're involved in organizations in our community, in churches in our community to solve these problems. So I actually don't believe anyone in this room, regardless of whether or not you're pro-life or you're pro-choice, thinks that children should be suffering in foster care or children should live.
So what's funny is she's sidestepping the question, because if I remember correctly,
Genetic code. And my question is that unborn fetus that cannot live outside the mother, what right do you have to tell me to carry it to term?
so yeah, that's what I thought. She sidestepped the actual question. What she wants to know is why, what is her name? Kristen, right? Yeah. Why Kristen has a right to tell her what to do with her pregnancy. That's the actual question. All the the concerns that she listed are the concerns as to why she would want an abortion, why she doesn't want to carry that pregnancy to term, because there are a number of factors that she finds to be problematic, troublesome, whatever it might be. These are all things where it's like, oh, you know, I don't drive on X highway because there's like 7 potholes on it and the lights don't work, right? And the question isn't how do we fix those? She wants to say, oh, well, I want all of those things to get fixed. But that's not the question. The question is why Kristen has the right to tell this woman she must drive down that road, why she has no other choice but to drive on that road. She can dodge all of those potholes, certainly. She can avoid those. She can live through passing under that light that doesn't work. But the question is of autonomy, not of the structural problems. We all recognize the structural problems. We have systems in place to address those. We don't use them. Republicans defund them. But nonetheless, the question at hand is, why is somebody who's not carrying this baby, these batch of cells in me, telling me what to do with it? That's the question. And she sidesteps it because she knows that she doesn't have any ground to stand on in terms of saying why she gets to determine what, you know, the course of action for somebody else. Right? Okay, let's give her a chance. I'm not gonna
live through hunger. We're going to play God, and we're going to abortion by saying some people are going to suffer, trying to justify legal abortion by saying some people are going to suffer. Therefore, we're going to play God, and we're going to.
Yep. It's just dogma.
I think that's absolutely wrong.
It's just dogma.
One, because people come out of adversity. People do suffer, and we will all suffer in our life. But I think
also, I love the suffering is good. It makes you like this is the value of suffering makes you better. That suffering in and of itself is a value.
I think it's wrong for you to say
it's better when you suffer.
Therefore, I'm going to kill you.
So bringing back to my question, how do you propose we solve those problems for the children that are suffering?
So do you want to go through today all the world's problems and all the United States problems and try to solve?
I love that. I absolutely love that, because her whole thing in the beginning was, her entire thing was sidestepping what gives you the right to make that decision for me. And instead she decided, well, we have all of these other problems that we would like to fix. And when she says, cool, give me, why don't we have some solutions for those? She goes, what, honey, you want me to fix all of the world's problems? Oh my God. Wow. That was amazing. Wow. You fucking bitch. That's all. Wow. Holy shit. Way to just, oh, wow. Okay. We're going to finish this up. Jesus.
This is a common thing we hear in the pro-life movement.
Oh.
You're pro-life.
Oh.
You don't care about people once they're born. You don't care about women after they're born. In fact, if you
and now she's got to walk it back. She's got to pretend to care now.
30 different things. Yet, are you upset that the American Diabetes Association doesn't fight cancer?
I specifically simply asked.
Wait, no. If you care about life, then you care about life. Life in terms of what we're talking about is healthcare. It's standard of living. It's actual quality of education. It's the ability to the pursuit of happiness if you're an American. But of course, what does she do? She does the classic, like, I care about life. No, you don't, you dumb fuck. You care about birth. For whatever reason, you're obsessed with birth. That's the only thing. Then in that case, stop saying you're pro-life, because you're not pro-life. You're not pro that child being able to eat. You're not pro that child not being neglected. You're not pro that child not being homeless. You're not pro that child getting a good education. You're not pro that child not being shot in fucking school. No, that all you are pro women giving birth to kids. That's it. It's some weird dogmatic bullshit. But don't come in here and be like, I'm pro-life, and then say, but when I say pro-life, at least she's kind of being honest. She's not trying to be. The mask is slipping a bit, but she just revealed that, like, yeah, I don't give a shit about any of this other stuff. Do you think child abandonment has anything to do with their life? You think their possible starvation has anything to do with their life? Like, it's fucking Christ. These fucking people.
Are you upset that the American Diabetes Association doesn't fight?
The American Diabetes Association does not say that they're pro-life.
No.
Why?
Because they are the Diabetes Foundation.
Exactly. I'm the anti-abortion.
Cool. Then don't say that. Oh, wait. You know, it's funny. It's funny because that's not what you say in here. It's students for life. Like,
Next question.
fucking got him.
That's the next question.
Fucking got him with my Tivana.
Because you just answered
where I asked for a proposed solution to our issues.
I don't have a proposed
foster care and
solution.
child homelessness.
Okay, we can have a debate.
Her proposed solution is don't get pregnant, honey. That's her proposed solution.
I can do a whole lecture about foster care.
You
We
could.
can do
Will
a
you
whole
ever?
lecture on homelessness.
Will she
These
ever?
Are great
Nope.
problems that we face in our nation.
And
right?
she has
These are
no
dilemmas
interest
that
in
we
solving
face.
them.
There's different policy prescriptions.
What are
on
they?
How to solve them.
Please, give me
But
one.
My organization.
Yep, there it is. But it's not my problem. It's not what I care about.
My mission.
This is why she's not pro-life. She's just she is, honest at least. She is just anti-abortion and anti-choice. That's all she is. But I want to take a look at just a cut, like an actual video of hers, just because I'm kind of curious with the argumentation here, because apparently this is how to win debates. So I watch at least a okay number of debates online, so I'm always looking for another resource to hear debate content. So let's kind of see how this goes. Oh my god. Explicitly pro. Yeah, oh, I'm sorry. Your podcast isn't called Anti-Abortion, you dumb asshole. It's called Explicitly Pro-Life. Oh, I fucking hate these people. They're so fucking
Hey,
dishonest.
Pro-Life Jen, it's Kristen Hawkins. Welcome to this the debate episode on the Explicitly Pro-Life podcast. Okay, so today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to rapid fire some of the common phrases we hear as excuses
Hurry up.
or just things that we hear about why people aren't pro-life, and do some responses to them. So
Hurry
hope
up.
this helps you
Hurry up.
in your conversation.
Hurry up.
Here we go. I'm not a conservative. Okay, well, I didn't say you had to be a conservative to
I'm so confused. What?
be pro-life. Fundamentally, abortion is not a political or even a religious issue. It is a human rights issue. Every single person, regardless of their
I can't tell what's the question and what's the argument. Okay.
background, has a seat at the table and deserves the right to live. And I think anyone can acknowledge the rights of human beings to live. That's what politics is actually supposed to do. It's supposed to help ensure
she's
human
talking about
flourishing. It's supposed
this
to
top row.
protect citizens of a
Top
a
left
local area,
is
one
what she
area.
thinks is human
So
life.
you don't have to be conservative to be pro-life. Even the Students for Life team is incredibly diverse in
I'm sure it is, Kristen. I'm sure it is.
their political leanings. I think one of the tragedies of modern day politics is that the Democratic platform has
Oh, these people. Oh, we have such a diverse thing. The next sentence out of her mouth. The Democratic Party. Oh my god. Oh, these
moved
fucking
from
Karens.
safe, legal, and rare, that phrase that Bill Clinton
Huh?
coined in the 90s
What?
to convince my grandparents
What laws changed? Roe v. Wade has been consistent. It's always been 24 weeks.
to vote for him, to now birthday abortions are fine. And maybe even infanticide, a few hours after birth is fine too.
Wait. Did she just wait? So her argument is that Democrats are pro the actual murder of children? This woman is a QAnoner. I'm saying it right now. She whether she comes out with it in public or not, she believes in QAnon. I will say that. She can refute me if she wants.
They've also made it exceedingly clear that if you are pro-life, if you're anti-abortion in any way, you are not welcome.
Oh yeah, I'm also gonna do this meme really quickly. Abortion's not legal past, I believe, 24 weeks, or it might be 24 or 26. I forget the precise number, but I know it's one of those two. Unless the health of the mother is at risk, in which case abortion is legal. That's when. So every time she says, every single time she says, birthday abortions, every single time she is talking about a scenario where a child is born, or more accurately, a scenario where a mother would die in the process of childbirth, and at the moment of birth, at the moment where there is a decision to be made, some women choose to live. That's what she's describing, and that she's politicizing. the scenario, the utterly unbelievably stressful, horrible moment when a mother realizes or is told by a doctor that it's their life or their child's life, and that husband has to deal with that, that family has to deal with that. Do they try again? You know, that's up to them. Like there's so much that goes into that, and she's using these awful scenarios to propagandize for her religious dogma bullshit. It's fucking disgusting.
In their party, which eliminates, quite frankly, the voices of thousands, as over a third of registered Democrats are pro-life voters. At the end of the day, if you are anti-abortion,
so a minority,
the killing of a unique, whole, living human life is wrong simply because of their location, their size, their level of development, the what happened.
Well, yeah, we do have. Again, there is kind of a difference between this one on the far top left and the one on the far bottom right. There is a difference there.
In the night they were conceived, that we are on the same team. And trust me, I may not agree with you on every other issue, and I'll be pretty vocal about that.
What is this again?
But I'm happy to have you on our team.
Students.
How about this one? I'm a man, so I can't say anything about abortion.
That's dumb.
Really? It is such a cop-out answer when we hear
okay, that's
one
okay.
sentence.
Let me just tell you right now, that's just fucking stupid. You can have an opinion on whatever you want.
Times from Christians who are pro-life against abortion. They'll say, well, you know, shouldn't we address more than just abortion? Absolutely. As Christians, as citizens of United States of America,
it's a dogma thing.
Decent human beings,
it's definitely.
Yes, we should do more in our society than just advocate against the killing of children. But I think it's really interesting because when you hear that statement, it's always under like the assumption that maybe we should just talk a little bit less about abortion, or if we talked less about abortion, it would be easier to bring people into the church or into our social.
Oh yeah, by the way, I'm looking at the Wikipedia page. Apparently this woman is opposed to the prosecution of women who self-abort, which there are multiple states trying to enact legislation to do that. And she is also on record of opposing exceptions for rape and incest. So if you're raped, if you're raped, then this woman thinks fucking deal with it. Your problem now.
It's really weird because you never hear that with any other cause where the members of the cause are told, well, maybe you should just do something else.
Oh gosh, she's
more
from Fredericksburg. Of course she is.
And I think that is, when in human history has it ever been wrong to be anti a very bad thing? I mean, there were anti-slavery groups. There's always been anti-genocide efforts. There's anti-human trafficking organizations. There's anti-smoking organizations. Our movement is no different. And I think that, the more we add all these issues to say, well, I'm going to be a pro-life activist, and these people say I need to do more, so I'm going to do 10 different things and engage in 10 different issues. I think that when you muddy that of what pro-life is and what pro-lifers are trying to do, forcing us to address every injustice in human society, which, by the way, there's a lot, it will make us less effective in the mission we originally set out to accomplish, which is abolishing abortion. And I'll go back to something I use on campuses all the time. No one ever tells the American Diabetes Association or the American Cancer Association that maybe they need to spend a little more time advocating against other ailments. No one would ever do that. But somehow with abortion, that's always.
Again, your organization is a pro-life organization. It's what you market. You're just lying. That's the whole part of it. Unfortunately, these people are, this woman is very clearly immune to shame and hypocrisy, mainly because she, let's be honest. She, as we've kind of shown here, she kind of, she plays around with the words a lot. And, go forth, do what you want. But no, please spare me this bullshit of like, oh, well, the American Diabetes Organization. Yeah, the American Diabetes or Association is an advocate for for diabetes. You're an advocate by your own language, by your own terms, is life. Life does not encompass just birth. Fucking idiot.
To what happens. It's maddening. How about this one? Fetuses are living humans. Well, that's your science. My science says otherwise. Yeah, relativity is a very dangerous thing. We're seeing it play out across our college campuses and high schools across the country. And with this generation, we more or less have a nation that has us all walking around in our own little bubbles. Each of us has our own values and facts and philosophies, and all of them are somehow simultaneously correct. Somehow, all of them. There is no your science and there is no my science. There is only science. And science is very clear that the
Okay.
biological lives of organisms begin at fertilization. Even the world's most intelligent abortion supporters don't refute this fact. In fact, I found out the other day the
Cool, who cares? No, honestly, I really mean that. Like, there's a part of me that people say, "Oh, well, look, this is this is technically another entity over here. This is another entity. This is cool." Yeah, that none of this entire top row is a life. I'm sorry, I just disagree. And furthermore, the extinguishing of any of these top rows doesn't bother me. There's no experience, there's no pain, there's no anything. There's no negative outcome to any of this. None of the aborting of anything, especially on this top row. Nothing changes. The world doesn't react. There's not a huge loss. There wasn't a life happening. And again, this is why it's frustrating to have these conversations. And it's why it will never, ever, 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 in my opinion, end. Because I am of the opinion that I get to think that the top row isn't a life because it does not qualify as what I would define as a living being. And this woman is fully within her rights to believe that that top row describes what she calls a living being, a life, all of that stuff. I believe that she has the right to believe all the things that she believes. What I don't believe she has the right to do is to tell people, is to force them into her viewpoint, into her way of thinking. I don't know how to say this any clearer. She's not anti-abortion. She's anti-choice. She doesn't like abortion. She certainly is anti-abortion. But her political prescription and the format in which she wants to build society around this issue is one of non-choices. She does not want women to have the choice to decide if they want children or not. I respect that for people who accidentally get pregnant and say, I'm not okay with that. I got no problem with that. But there are others who think differently. And unless you can point to me the harm done by this to society, keep in mind, then I'm sorry. There will never be a world where I can agree with her blanket anti-abortion, anti-choice stance. There just can't. We cannot agree on this.
a new artificial intelligence website where you can go in and like ask this AI bot all these questions is even pro-life. Like you can't deny the fact is what's inside of a mother a living human being with a unique genetic code. Absolutely. That there is no your or my science. There's just science, and sometimes I guess facts can be hard because those facts could make you have to readdress something that you hold dear, a value that you want to have, or maybe a way that you're living your life. That's certainly a very real thing.
I don't think I
that
need to keep
happens
this
all
up.
the
I've made my
time.
point.
But it's not your science or my science. It's just science. And if you're pro-abortion and you deny that what's inside of a mother's unique, whole, living human being that's never existed before, will never exist again.
What's funny is she talks about if you don't believe that, and to that point, it's like, yeah, I don't believe it. Who are you to tell me I should believe differently? Who are you to decide? Again, this goes back to that question that student had. I disagree with you. Who are you to tell me I must adopt your position? Because that's what she is doing. Also, I love this line because it's obviously very clear part of her marketing. The
living human being that's never existed before, will never exist again.
Where is it?
And if you're pro-abortion and you deny that what's inside of a mother's unique, whole, living human being that's never existed.
Unique, whole, living. Is it living? Is sitting inside of a womb, not moving, not breathing, not interacting, is that living? No. Is it unique? Sure. Is it, it can never be done again? All right. So what? Again, that's just another word for unique. Whole? Is that human whole? Well, no. By definition, a fetus isn't a whole person. It can't survive on its own. If taken out of the womb, it doesn't develop. You ever bought like the like a shell of like a computer? That's not a whole computer. That's just part of a computer. There's many different components. It's the same for humans. Like, oh God, this is brain melting.
Before, will never exist again. Then you're anti-science.
Well, there you go, folks. We're anti-science, I guess. I don't. The thing that they tell, like at the end of all YouTube videos where they tell you to like click on one of these like things to watch more videos. Yeah, I've been meaning to film one of those. So that's what I was doing. I was just setting it up to film one.